That's what I put down. So. Oh my gosh, these flowers are so cool. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do my intro really quick. We are playing some more Minecraft Raft. We had a little bit of a problem and some of my stuff went missing, but it's all good. I'll figure it out. I'll fish some more. We'll fix it. And I just got flowers. So, you know me. I love them flowers. So, oh, look at the little blue flowers. They're so pretty. I love them. I'm gonna move this, sugar cane because it's in the way of where I want to put my flowers. Flowers. I love me some flowers. But yeah, so we're playing some more Minecraft Raft. I know there was someone on here that was asking about me playing some more, so I might as well play some more. If that's what you guys are interested in it, I don't mind. What is it turning? It's turning the ink sac into ink sacs, but I think that's for dyeing stuff. Do we need ink sacs for anything else, do you think, Ace? Let me see if there's anything in the shop that needs ink sacs. Oh, for a second there I thought my shears were missing. But, thankfully no. They're not. Yeah. Now I want to fish for some more bones because I want more flowers. You know me and my flowers, man. Oh my gosh, I can't figure out what these are because every time I try to, like, swoop over a little bit to figure out what these eggs are for spawn eggs, it just goes into my inventory. Stop doing that. Oh my god. What is the yellow egg with the black polka dots? Because it's not letting me see what they are. I can't get it to, like, hover over it for me to see what it is. For some reason. It's a bumblebee? Oh, I want bees. I want bumblebee bees. I love the bumbles. The little bumbly boys. How do we get carrots and stuff like that, like other plants, for my garden? Is that stuff you gotta trade for too? Okay. I'm just gonna take a look in your store real quick. Carrots. Yeah, but I was right here, so I figured I might as well just look at yours. I'm not seeing one for carrots. On how to get carrots. Is that just fishing? It must be just fishing or something. Alright, well I'm gonna use this fancy fishing rod you gave me. Which is getting me stuff real quick. Oh, you know what I just thought about? I need to post my Twitch stream on stuff. Okay. Sounds gooch. Sounds Gucci. You know, my friend Sammy was really confused on what I was saying when I said it sounds Gucci. And she was just like, what's that mean? I was like, sounds good. Like, it's good. And I was just like, it just means good. But, like, I like using fun words, and it's a fun word, so I just say it's Gucci. And she was like, oh, I thought it was like that weird, like, Gucci gang thing. I was like, no, 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 no. That's not what it is. I was like, you'd be very wrong. That's not what it is. It's just me saying it's good, it's cool, it's great. That kind of stuff. Oh, my friend Shikio that I talk about every so often, that I was the nanny of, was saying that he'd be welcome to joining some Minecraft tonight. Would you be willing to allow him to play with us? Cool. Does he have to be friends with you, or can I invite people to the game? Yeah, it gives me the option to invite. I don't know if I'm friends with him on here. Now I think about it, I don't think I am. Oh, I'm sure he won't. When I was Christian's nanny, he was a good kid. Oh, I shouldn't have said his real name on here. No, he's not a kid anymore. I just forget that he's not a kid anymore. It's so weird because I was his nanny and now he's an adult. And it's like, oh, he's an adult now. It also makes me feel kind of old. It's like, oh my gosh, you're an adult. You're graduating high school. Like, he's gonna go to college, and I was just like, what? Oh my gosh. Does that make me old? The fact that, like, the kid I was a nanny for, like, is legitimately an adult now? It's like, God, this is so long. But it feels like it was yesterday to me. Like, it feels like it was legitimately yesterday that I was, like, watching him and his sisters. And now he's all grown up, and it's like, what? When? When did this happen? When did you become an adult? I wasn't ready. Can I break down diorite in that, crusher thing? Oh, yes. I love the animation for it. It's so satisfying. I finally remembered to make myself a freaking furnace, too. So I finally have a furnace. But I figure if he does hop in here with us, then I figure I got plenty of bread, so I can give him some bread. And, like, I'm not using the direction over to, like, the right if you're facing the entrance of my house, so I figure I'll just let him know that he can build over there. As long as he doesn't run over into, like, your stuff or whatever. And I'm working on trying to make... Yeah, and the middle is still kind of close to your stuff, so I figured, like, I'll try to work on, like, filling in my area a little bit, and then he can, like, branch his off of mine or something. Or if he wants, he could probably just live in my house too if he wants. No, it's not my own server. It's actually just my friend's game, but he and I have bought both of these packs now. My friend from yesterday is chatting with me. The one that has the server that I joined earlier. Yesterday. I'm glad that you guys were able to invite me to the server, though. Like, I'm really excited to start building my home there, but Ace got me hooked on this raft one, so I'll probably be playing this one with Ace when he's up, and then playing on the server on, I don't know if you guys are okay with me saying whose server it is. I don't know how people feel about me talking about actual real people's names. But, yeah, since I was able to join the server and everything with you guys, I'll probably be doing that when I'm not playing Raft with Ace. So. But yeah, he got me hooked on this Raft one, and luckily it was only like $2 for me to buy. And, like, I think I could handle myself buying a $2 pack. Even if I'm stingy and I don't like buying myself stuff. Like, I don't like buying things for myself, but my husband told me that since I found a server that I like, that I should buy it. And I was like, yeah, okay. Or not a server, a pack. But if I do end up, like, getting affiliate with Twitch and I'm able to get paid through Twitch and things like that, though, I will definitely start a server. If possible. But that'll probably be in the future much later. Because even though I'm growing a little bit more fans and stuff, I don't have a lot of people that watch, so... And I don't have enough followers for Twitch to actually want me as a partner or an affiliate yet, so... I showed Bryce that I was making this stuff. I don't know if he's friends with me. But, you know, also, I got to have McDonald's today. Like, Bryce told me that I need to work on spoiling myself a little bit more and not being so worried all the time, and that buying myself some fast food or something like that every so often is okay. And I was like, well, we only have like $200 left until next paycheck. And he was like, well, I think it's okay, and you should go get yourself something nice to eat. And so I went and got myself McDonald's. And got my friend Sammy McDonald's since she was helping me. Anything nice to eat is if I buy it. Really, that's all it is. Is like, if I buy it, whether it's be fast food or something like that, that's nicer to eat than just me eating what I make for myself at home. Because of the fact that it's like, I have very few things that I can eat, but for some reason, somehow, McDonald's counts as a safe food and doesn't mess up my stomach that badly. It makes no sense. And, like, I do have some, like, requirements, like, I have to have it without cheese, I can't have pickles, but, like, I can get a Big Mac from McDonald's without cheese and pickles, and have some fries and a soda, and my stomach is okay with that, but, like, any other time that I have a burger from anywhere else, I can't eat it, because it makes me sick. So I'm just assuming at this point that McDonald's is not actual meat. Or very little meat. It's like, if my stomach problems, if it works, I mean, it's like, I don't know. But, I mean, if McDonald's is something that I can eat every so often, and my stomach doesn't get absolutely wrecked from it, it's nicer than not being able to eat out at all. And we crave burgers all the time, but I can't get burgers from anywhere else. Like, you know that Wendy's beef is some real good beef because I can't eat it. It's like, if it's really good meat, for some reason it messes up my stomach. It makes no logical sense, but that is how my stomach is apparently, and at this point I've just learned how to live with it, I guess, in a way. Because that's just how my body is. I can't have a lot of meats. Like, I can't eat pork. But, like, I can eat ham from Jersey Mike's as long as it's, like, only, like, half a sandwich. Like, I can sometimes handle that and my stomach's not too angry. But, I can't have pork, really, otherwise, other than literally Jersey Mike's ham for some reason. I can't have, uh, I can't have pork, I can't have I can't have ground beef most times. Like, I'm sometimes able to have steak, but it has to be, like, a really less fatty cut, otherwise it makes me sick. And my stomach can't digest it properly, just like the pork, and I'm completely unable to have poultry now. So like chicken and turkey and all that stuff messes up my stomach really bad. They told me it was because of the fact that the good enzymes and like bacteria that's in your gut and your intestines, because of my anorexia, I guess I accidentally killed them all off. So now either they're going to have to shorten my stomach so that processing food's a little more comfortable, or they're going to have to do like they were talking about some special procedure that they'd have to do to where my stomach could like have those enzymes again. So it's one or the other, and I don't have an option. So it's unfortunate, but that's how it has to be, I guess. Okay, so weird enough, I do have raw chicken in my inventory for some reason, though. All my chickens are missing. I didn't kill my chickens. I did kill 2 chickens, but I already ate the chicken from them when I killed 2 of my chickens. And then I had like 4 to 6 other chickens. So it's like, what happened to my chickens? They just disappeared. Yeah, I'm assuming someone had to have like hopped into your game or something for a short period of time, because that whole chest was missing, everything that I had in that chest was missing, and all my chickens are gone. But yeah. It's funny because I guess my friend Shikio, I guess he only has Minecraft for the PC, and I was like, well, you can still friend me through the Microsoft stuff, and then um, I can add you through there somehow. I don't know how uh, my friend did it yesterday, but they did it. They sent me a friend request, and I was able to accept it, and they were able to add me to their their server. So oh, Bryce text me. Oh my gosh, Ace, I didn't tell you the story. And I'm gonna have to figure out a way to word this so that I don't get in trouble with Twitch. But, uh, but, yeah, I don't want to lose the ability to get affiliacy because of wording. But I think I know how to word it in a way that you will understand what I am saying, but it does not break any guidelines. So, um, an item that adults use was found inside the barracks room that Bryce and his squad members are now living in. And it is orange and clear. And it was a one that sticks to things, and it was stuck to the wall. Or sorry, the window. In fact, I should probably save the picture and just send it to you because it's hilarious. But then his roommates decided that they were going to take it off of said window while holding it with a shirt instead of, cleaning it like they should have done in the first place. It was just flailing it at each other and slapping each other with it and just being complete children about it. But he sent me a video, and I have to send you the video too because it's hilarious. Because they're just running around with it, and he's taking a video like, you guys are so dumb, you should at least watch that, that's so gross. And they're just slapping each other with it. And doing weird stuff with it, and it's just like, oh my god, you are a bunch of children with guns, that's what you are. It's like, I don't think you guys should be in the army. But at the same time, that's how every army man acts, honestly. Like, most army men that I've known, especially in the infantry, just act like it. Nah, he's not interested in it, thankfully, and I don't think anyone would actually use it for that, but I just thought it was so funny. Yeah, well, he's a light sleeper when he's at work, which makes no sense, because he sleeps like a dead person when he's, like, asleep next to me. But then everyone at work is like, bruh, Shield's just... I don't even know if he actually sleeps. He's always awake before we are. He's always, like... He's awake when we go to sleep. Like, we don't even know if he really gets sleep, except for when, like, it's really, really late and one of us gets up to go to the bathroom. And even then, sometimes he'll wake up from us getting up to go to the bathroom. And I was like, are you serious? He sleeps like a log. And they were like, no, he doesn't. I was like, oh, trust me, he's my husband. I know how he sleeps. But I guess when he's at work or whatever, or, like, in a work situation, he just straight up, like, is the lightest sleeper somehow. And I was just like, do you have just, like, a work and a home difference? Is that what it is? I was like, I know you technically have to be aware of all your surroundings, no matter what, while you're in the military anyways, but it's just crazy to know that he sleeps like that when he's at work. But then, like, when he's home, he sleeps, like, so hard. Although it's funny, too, because he says that I have what we call comatose state. Because I don't sleep very often or whatever, and I don't get enough sleep. I guess when I do sleep, he says that there's been a couple of times where he straight up thought I died in my sleep or something. He was like, I couldn't tell you were breathing. I need to get, like, a compact mirror or something, because you've scared me on so many occasions. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Because everyone else that knows me says I'm the lightest sleeper they've ever known. And so I think it's just a straight up thing where he's a really light sleeper to most people, and I'm a really light sleeper to most people, but when we're together, we sleep like we're dead. And I find that just hilarious, because I've always been the lightest sleeper, and every little thing wakes me up, and there's been so many times where Bryce just, like, stopped snoring in his sleep, and it's woken me up and freaked me out. But that's because I have really bad paranoia. And then he tells me that I'm, like, a really hard sleeper around him otherwise, though, and then I go into, like, this comatose state. Or, like, on the days where I stay up until he goes to PT at 5 in the morning, like, he'll go to PT at 5 in the morning, and I'll just finally lay down, and by the time he comes home for, like, breakfast and shower at around between 7 and 8, he says that I'm just, like, I'm sleeping like I'm dead. And then he has to wake me up and, like, wait a while and try to wake me up continuously until I finally wake up. And then when I do wake up, that's when he normally is like, okay, time to eat some breakfast, like, take your meds, so on and so forth. But I've never done that around anyone else, really. And so I find it very interesting. And Bryce told me that it wasn't like that all the time. It was more of a recent thing, like, after we moved here. And so his theory is that even though I have a lot of problems and a lot of stress and stuff like that, he believes that I am more relaxed here. And so he thinks that that's why I go into, like, this comatose state. Because of the fact that I'm more relaxed, well, since we've been living here. And that's the whole reason why I sleep like that now. And I just find it so interesting because of the fact that it's like I've never been a heavy sleeper, and now that we've moved here, he's worried that I passed in my sleep. And I was like, well, at least I'm getting some rest, you know? And he's like, yeah, and I feel bad waking you up when that happens because he's like, I just need to make sure that you're alive still, but at the same time, I'm like, she needs sleep. Because she don't sleep. And I was like, we all have sacrifices we must make. But, yeah, it's one of those things where you're just like, oh, well, I guess I do that now. It's like, didn't know I did that, but I guess I do. Nice. Does that mean you're going to the Nether? Ah, I kind of expected that. So, I forgot they have flaming slabs now. But my friend, Shikio is trying to download the Microsoft Hub again so that he can send me a friend request on here, I guess. And then I should be able to invite him. I might have to back out and go to the main page really quick, because I don't think it'll show me like my messages or anything for like friend requests or anything unless if I'm in there, but... Oh, you have more sheep now. Oh, yes. Have babies. Oh, I don't have a lead. I did. I did breed your sheep. I'm gonna lead it into my house. It's okay, I'll put him in my house. He's following me. It's following me, so we're good. Come on, follow me over here. Let's go into my house. Yeah, he's following. He's like, oh, okay. You got some wheat? He's like, yeah, I'll follow you. Come on, come over here. Alright, now stay. Haha. Well, it's in my house now. So now I have a gray sheep in my house. I put it in my bedroom because I don't go in the bedroom as often except for when we need to sleep, so. You know you have like a llama just walking around on your land? It's just waltzing around, chilling. It's just chilling over here. But yeah, I might have to back out to get the friend request or whatever, but it does seem to like allow me to invite people, so I should be able to easily invite him over. I don't know if he has like voice chat or not though. So I don't know what I'll do about that, but we'll cross that bridge when we come down to it. We'll cross the bridge when it is needed to cross. And I have so much bread that I should probably just use this wheat to get dirt at this point because holy butt munch. So much wheat. So much wheat and so much bread. I have so much. I don't know. Yeah, if you made it before the update, then it won't have any of that updated stuff in the areas that you've already explored. But I think it's supposed to... If it's a like newer save or something though, and you haven't gone into the Nether before, it should still be updated, if I'm not mistaken. can you fill in that one spot that was empty in the ceiling in that room? If you don't mind. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, I will not be going into the Nether. I have bad luck there. The Nether is a bad luck place for me, but that's because I just attract lava, so. Maybe to you. I'm sure it definitely reminds you of where you spawned from. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that because I was moving my headphones. Yeah, it's really weird. But that's because of the fact that I'm not used to making friends with people that have a nice upbringing. Like Sammy, my new friend, like she just talks about her family and everything and it just sounds so great and I'm just like, is that what childhood is supposed to be? Is that what it was supposed to be like? And then I'll tell her stuff about like my childhood and she just looks at me like, how did you survive that? And I'm just like, oh, but I'm fine now, I swear. It's like, it just reminds me all the time of how, like, you know, everything sucked. And she's just like, I understand now why you have so many problems. And I'm like, oh, that's just rude. I was like, that's rude. That hurt. I was like, I know you mean it in a nice way, but that didn't feel good when you said it like that. And she's like, I'm not meaning to be offensive. She's just like, but it makes sense that you have like so much mental health problems and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, still, thanks. That hurts. Like, it's like, I know you don't mean anything mean by it, but ouch. She was like, it also makes sense that like you told me like you have issues with social places and things like that, or like making real friends. And I was like, yeah, because I don't understand how you are just okay with me oversharing about all these terrible things when you grew up with a normal upbringing and you like can understand in a empathetic way, but you don't know how it was actually because you had a good upbringing and it makes no sense to me. And she was like, yeah. She's like, I can't imagine if my upbringing was the same as yours, because she was like, I don't know how I would have dealt with that. And I was like, yeah, I still don't know how I dealt with that. I'm just here. It's like, I don't know either. Just letting you know. It's like, you tell me, I don't know. But I just find it so comical that, like, she's just so surprised about how awful it was sometimes. And, like, all these other things. Like, I think you might have actually overheard me talking with my psych the other day about just, like, some of the stuff. You heard the full conversation. Yeah, I realized, like, halfway through, or, like, right before I finished my conversation with her, and she was just like, yeah, that's a lot. And, and I looked over and I realized I was like, I never left the party chat and Ace heard everything. And I was kind of embarrassed, but at the same time I was like, I've told you about some of my traumas from my childhood, so I don't think it matters. It's like, you know most of the stuff that I told her because we've been friends for so long. But like, it's one of those things where you realize it and you're like, oh my gosh. You're like, I probably sound like an absolute mess. And I know I already probably sound like an absolute mess, because I am. It's like, I will be the first to admit that. But I also find it hilarious how, like, she was just, like, she was also very awestruck by it. And I'm sure you probably heard her too, because I had her on speaker the whole time. And then, like, it's funnier too because I answered one of my phone calls today from that nurse that was supposed to call me back that I was talking about yesterday. She was supposed to call me back about stuff or whatever. um, about my questions about stuff that I needed done for different therapies and things like that. And it just so happened that Sam was there too. Sammy was sitting here with me, and she heard the whole conversation, and then was like, at the end, there was a point in time where I was just like, I don't know the fax number for any of these. I don't even know where I'm going for my physical therapy, and I don't know what to do to get the information that I need for the arthritis and rheumatologist. So like I'm literally sitting here lost, but I've been waiting for the case manager to call me because she's supposed to be doing these things for me because I'm lost and I have no idea what I'm doing. And then she was like walking me through how I need to go online to see all of my referrals and their addresses and their contact information, and she was sitting here stressing me out, and Sammy was being nice enough to look up the names of the places so I could get the fax numbers. Only for that lady to tell me that she could currently see the frickin' contact information for said numbers while I was struggling to try and find it with Sammy on my phone while talking to her. And so when I got off, Sammy was like, she could have easily just looked up that information instead of forcing you to do that. She was like, oh, that lady sucks. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. She could see the information in front of her and was walking me through the process of seeing the information myself. It's like, she could have seen it and just gotten the fax information herself. And then Sammy was still nice enough to look up all the information for me. And we got stuck because apparently the place that's doing my physical therapy has 3 different locations. And I was like, well, then where am I going on the 11th? Because I don't know. And the lady was like, well, you can look online on this website. And I was like, I've never heard of that website. And she's like, it's the TRICARE for this area. I was like, okay, well, that still doesn't tell me. I was like, all I've been told is to go to the Genesis Health Help website, that you log in with the DSL login and stuff and do that stuff. I was like, that is all I know. So you're gonna have to walk me through what the heck you want me to do. And she was just like, oh, well, you go to this website and it's the TRICARE and you can see all of your referrals and the websites and the call and contact information and this and this and that and all these other things. And I was just like, then why don't you get that information? It's like, if you already know what I'm looking for when I'm sitting here lost, then why can't you just do it? Because I'm still lost. I'm still not understanding what the heck you're telling me. It's like, seriously, please, explain to me what I'm supposed to do. Walk it through like I am a toddler, because I have no idea what you want from me. And it wasn't until Sammy had, like, literally said she could have just looked at the contact information or looked it up herself, that I was just like, man, this lady sucks. I was like, she could have easily just looked at it right in front of her face while she was walking me through it. And then, like, I guess it wants me to do all these questionnaires and things like that, and I have no idea what information it's asking me for. Like, I must just be the dumbest, because I'm really not understanding what it wants for me to do. So I have yet to figure out how to look at my referrals on there still. And I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna do this tomorrow when I'm more sane. Because I had to deal with rush hour traffic in Colorado Springs today, and I was trying to get my food in my mouth, and she was just like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, and everything, and I'm just like, I just want to sit and eat so that I can paint my table, and then Sammy can help me carry stuff. Like, please. It's like, this is too much. Please stop it. Yeah, I'm heading that way. Bloop. But yeah, the lady was making it so complicated. Yeah, I saw it earlier. It looks a little bit better. I have yet to look at your tree. Although it's really weird because I just looked over at the little lamb that was in here, And it was just in the corner, staring into the corner. And then, like, I looked at it for a couple of minutes, and it just started turning slowly around to stare at me. Oh, dang, that's a big tree. How did you manage to get it to grow that big? Oh. I have never thought to do that. Yeah, I've never thought to do that. But that makes sense. But, yeah, I still don't know how to look at my referrals on there. And she said that it can't be the same thing as my DSL login, and that is a lie, because I made it exactly the same. Username and password. She's like, well, it can't be the same thing because sometimes they'll interact funny or blah 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 blah. I was like, I did it, so. I was just like, well, I did. And it didn't give me any problems about it. And the registration process was more annoying, though, that's for sure. And like I said, I still don't know what the heck half of it was asking for me. So it's like, I'm just gonna fill out what I can. And it's like, TRICARE should already know how many dependents we have, which is me. It's like, Bryce has me as a dependent. I am not the sponsor. I don't have any dependents. And it was just like, how many dependents do you have in your household? It says children or non-children, and I was like, okay, none. And it was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's no one else living in the house with me. It's like, it's just me. It's like, Bryce isn't even here right now. You know I'd adopt a bunch of refugees if they wanted. But, you know, legally, because of my mental illness and stuff like that, I'm only allowed to, like, adopt adults. I'm not allowed to adopt children. So, but that means that I could adopt my sister. She's over 18 now, so. And there's a chance that I might actually be adopting my sister in the near future. So, it's like, who's gonna stop me? Our dead mom or her bad father, my bad stepfather? It's like, she's 18, so she gets to pick. I told her, I was like, yeah, I can adopt you, or Bryce and I can both legally adopt you. And either way, we'll be able to give you free help with your health care for your diabetes type 1. We'll be able to help you with any kind of therapy you need. We can help you with any kind of health stuff. Like, it'll all be available through the military. I told her, I was like, it's not the best because healthcare in the US just kind of sucks. But I was like, we can at least provide a happier home for you. You wouldn't have to struggle as much. And you could just enjoy being here with me. And she was like, I know, but like, I feel bad and I feel like a burden. I was like, Jeanette, you're pulling at me, stop it. I was like, I know, I feel the same way, but you know what? I'm your big sister. And who else is going to care for you? You've already talked about you only feel comfortable with me. You only feel like happy and like at home with yourself and others when I'm around. It's like, why? Why would you feel like a burden? I told her, I was like, you're in better health than I am. So having you around would actually be good for me in the long run. And she was like, yeah, it would be nice because I could help take care of you and everything like that. And I was like, okay, don't say it like that because you're going to make me feel like even more of an old lady, okay? But it's like, it would be nice to have her around. I think mentally and physically it'd be good for both of us. Like, her and I have been through a lot of the similar traumas and things like that because, you know, we grew up together until I had to move out and live with my father. So it's like, we've been through a lot of the issues that we both have had and everything together until our adult lives for the most part. And it would be nice to be able to see my sister. Like, her and I hardly ever get to see each other. But she, like, calls me, like, once every couple of weeks at least. Sometimes it's every other day, depending on the week. So... Not to mention, like, if she becomes our dependent, we'll get paid more. So I can make sure that she lives a very comfortable life. I told her, I was like, the military will literally pay us for you to live with us and provide you with better health care, and we'll get a bigger house because we'll have a dependent. I was like, so you can live a very comfortable life, and, like, you probably won't even need to work. And I think that would also be better for her physical and mental health currently. So I was just like, it's a lot of wins there, but I'll never push her towards a decision either. I just tell her these things so she has the information, and it's food for thought, really. So, but she keeps saying no, and she always gives me the reason that she feels like a burden, and I was like, no. I was like, if anything, you'll be helping me. I was like, having my little sister around would be literally the best thing for me. Because I miss Jeanette. She's my sister. Like, I'd love to spend more time with her. It's like, it's not like I don't want to spend time with my siblings. It's like, heck, if I could adopt her and my other half-sister, I would, but I think my sister Jasmine probably wants to stay with our father, so... And with my father's health and stuff, and how the stuff that, like, my family goes through and everything, it's probably a good thing that my little sister Jasmine helps them sometimes. So... It's just one of those things where it's just like, well, you know, there's always options, and I always have a room and a home for them. Like, I could never turn away my siblings, and I could never turn away my sisters. I've even told Bryce, like, if his little brother wanted to come live with us, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Because it would be nice to have more family around. It'd be nice to have a bigger home with more people in it. I was so used to growing up having a lot of people in the house at a time. Like, it was always me, my sister, my mom, my stepfather, and then we had multiple family members living with us at certain times. Like, my Aunt Pam and her boyfriend lived with us for a while until they moved out and then eventually got married. My Papa Paul and my Nana lived with us for a while. Almost every one of my aunts or uncles, pillagers are back. But, like, almost every one of my family members had lived with us at some point in time, for the most part, on my Nana's side, at least. So, I had either an aunt, uncle, and their significant other living with us, or we had other family members of some sort living with us. Like, I think we even had some of our cousins stay with us at some points. But at the same time, I can't remember entirely. But it's like, I've always been used to having a large household with a lot of people in it. So to me, it just feels more comfortable. Having a full house makes me happy. But I also like to take care of my family, so it makes me happy to be able to take care of them. And give them a place to stay. And give them a home. Oh god, I sound like my mother. I don't see anybody. I see just the... So, the way that the flags work, you know how those work, correct? So, with the flags for the pillagers, if they show up, they go after the flag first. So, like, if you have a pillager flag, the pillagers normally go after the flag, and then come after you after they've claimed the flag. Well, if one spawned, there's definitely more, but nobody spawned in my house, from what I understand. And normally they spawn in the same place. Huh. That is weird. Or at least 3. Like, sometimes I've seen them spawn like 5 at a time or more. Oh, hi Kokoro, how's it going? Don't worry about it if you're a little late. You know I don't mind. But we're just playing some more Raft here, and my friend Ace really got me hooked on it, so I've been playing it with him anytime I have free time now. But we got some sheeps. I had chickens, but they went disappeared. So no more chickens, but I'll make some more later on. How have you been today? I feel that. I've been really tired today as well, but it's a good tired. Like, I'm exhausted from everything I did today, but at the same time it's a good thing. So I decided, I don't know if you follow me on TikTok, but my TikTok is little anime psycho, or little psycho anime lover, one of the things like that. I think it's little psycho anime lover, because somehow psycho anime lover was taken, and I was like, who took my name? Like, I even looked it up, and nobody by that name existed, so I don't know. But I did. No. If you look up someone, you can look up the name tag, and even if they've never posted or anything like that, you can still see their like account. But yeah, I couldn't find anyone with that name, so I think TikTok was just being rude. But excuse me. I did manage to paint my entertainment center for my TV in my bedroom today, and I even painted my coffee table today. So, and then my friend and I went and got McDonald's. So, I haven't had McDonald's since before Bryce left. Like, my friend was like, when was the last time you had McDonald's? Because you've been talking about craving it for the last couple of weeks. And I was like, that's because I have been craving it for the last couple of weeks. I haven't had McDonald's since like February. And she was like, dang, that's a lot, especially since you told me it's one of your safe foods. I was like, that's because I have convinced myself I'm not allowed to have things. It's like, especially since Bryce is gone now, it's like, Bryce is normally like, why don't we get something to eat from somewhere else tonight? Like, we haven't gotten A or B or C thing in a while. And I'll be like, yeah, let's get some McDonald's or some Jersey Mike's, or like, funny enough, I like Panda Express, but I don't like a lot of their food. Literally all I get is white rice, a freaking metric ton of sweet and sour sauce, or as many as they'll give me, and then ask for more, and chow mein. Like, I just get noodles, rice, and a lot of sweet and sour sauce. And crab puffs. Which I always pay for the crab puffs, but they're so delicious it's worth my intestinal problems. It's like the cream cheese and crab puffs do not agree with me, but I don't care because they're delicious. And it's like, I will take the pain to have crab puffs. I'm watching chat stream. I want to say if I can join you, please. I'd have to ask my friend that I'm playing with because it's his game that we're playing. So, oh, you're in the Nether. We do ask though, like, no one under 18 is allowed to play because playing with anyone like younger kind of feels off. And we just try to keep it like an adult playing, you know. But he said that it seems fine, and you'd have to also, like, if you do play, I do like to prefer having people in the party so that we can talk to said people. So, like, it's easier for communication if we can chat with you in party and stuff like that, and then we can give you a rundown on like the rules and stuff. But Someone messaged me here because they're watching me on my broadcast. NS under dash or underscore Gibby, like iCarly. Yeah, let me message them through my thing because I want to make sure that they're 18 or older before we end up adding them. It's like it feels weird to play with anyone under 18, really. Ooh, Bryce just texted me and told me they had him up. They had them up for 20 hours for 2 iterations of training, just to only get 2 hours of sleep and then get up again to clean weapons. That is absolutely terrible. Like, I know that he's been like MIA pretty much when I've been trying to text him and stuff, and now it makes perfect sense why. Because he's been busy, but they were doing stuff with like the Bradleys and some training and everything, so it's understandable. But like keeping them up for that long, that's really not cool. Like I couldn't imagine. Like I mean, I know I stay up for that amount of time, but I'm not handling vehicles or large guns or like Bradleys with striker stuff on them to where you can shoot huge freaking ammo. It's like, I don't know if you should be making someone exhausted to that point and then be like, yeah, shoot this big gun out of a moving vehicle. Yeah, it's the army. Yeah, exactly. It really is. It's like this is just how it be with the army. Like I've noticed they really don't care. They were like, "Oh, you're exhausted. We'll keep you up for another 24 hours. How about that?" It's like you're gonna whine about it? Yeah, do some push-ups, do some burpees, do lunges while holding your M4. Like, why? It's just like that's just not safe. I'm gonna have to tell Bryce that joke because that's good. I can't say it on stream, but it's like that's pretty great. That was 100% the best joke I think today. Yeah, the military is just. Oh no, they're not 18. So yeah, no. Yeah, it's like I'm tempted to just ask how old they are because like if they're older or like almost 18, then maybe they wouldn't be so immature, but at the same time it's like I don't know. Yeah. Exactly. It's like I don't know if I want to make that decision cuz it's just like I don't know. But I told them sorry about that. Like we try not to play with minors because it just feels a bit off. Like sorry, but that's just how it be. I mean, we're adults, we're grown adults, so it's like, what? Yeah, your sense of humor is terrible. So it's like I don't want to add anyone under 18 to the chat, anyways. It's like I have to follow certain regulations because I'm streaming, but so it's not like we can really have too much adult conversation. But at the same time, even with it being like no swearing or anything, we still have pretty adult conversations, and so it just feels a little off to have like someone under 18 in the chat, you know? It's like it feels a bit weird. It's like I'd love to be able to have people play with us, but it's kind of difficult when you're dealing with having people like underage on your stream and stuff like that. It just feels weird. Or even just playing with underage people when you're not streaming even. You said there's pillagers? Yeah. They be outside my house too. got the sword. But yeah, with the military, they like to exhaust you. Um, Honestly, sometimes I think that's also part of the training half the time. Like, there's been times where I do know that they've. Oh, I got a loot crate. Can I put the loot crate in the chest? Yes, I can. Well, we have another loot crate, so if my friend does join, my other friend, who is 18, um, if he joins, then I'll have a loot crate for him. Oh, you killed him? I think mainly they have them trained that way because then if they have to be deployed during a hostile time, they will interact themselves. Yeah. Um, yeah, like I said, like they do have sometimes where it is just staying up training, but it still really sucks that they just overexhaust them like that. And like my husband, I can tell you, like if he has to for work, he can overexhaust himself like that. But then like he can still somewhat function, but it's hard for him. And I've noticed that it does get pretty hard for him. But he sees it as it's his job, he's got to do it. So he doesn't really have an option. And I mean, although some of the people that he works with, I don't know about that. Like, the other day they had a soldier that works with him in his squad that literally got lost with night vision goggles on in the middle of the forest, and then they had to backtrack and spend forever looking for him. And he went like an entirely different direction than where everyone was going for the mission. And I think he said that he even failed the mission because of the fact, or like their whole team failed the mission because of the fact that he got lost so quickly and they had to backtrack the whole time. And so like they were late at the mission and everything like that, and it's just like he did not assimilate to the military properly. And he's been a bit of a difficulty, and like I feel bad saying that, but he almost shot someone during a training. So it's like if you're going to be unable to shoot your gun properly and behave properly and things like that and follow directions, if you're going to be talking back to your sergeants, like he cussed out a sergeant the other day. I'm surprised he has not yet been just sent home. Because most times if you talk back or cuss to a sergeant, that's it. But like they're trying to be as patient as they can with him, and honestly, I don't think he deserves it at this point. Because I tried to be really nice to him and everything. I had him over and we had dinner together, and I made him and Bryce a really nice dinner, and we all had a good time and everything. And then I had him over again because I was like, yeah, he was really polite and everything, so it'd be wonderful to have him over again. I don't mind. And then after like the second time, after he came over, he started being extremely rude. He started just like taking advantage of the fact that sometimes we'd feed him, and he'd complain about how he can't get a ride to the DFAC and things like that. So I was like, well, why did they put the DFAC so far away? Because like normally the DFAC, the place where they eat and everything, is pretty close by. And then recently, like after I was like feeling bad for him and everything like that, I was like, oh well, you're more than welcome to come over here and eat and everything like that. I understand that it can be hard, and I'm sure you want a home cooked meal and stuff like that. And I found out like he's like 18, he just graduated high school, and he is not used to being away from his family. He's used to his parents like taking care of him and like holding his hand the whole way. And unfortunately, you just cannot do that in the military because they will not hold your hand. In fact, they're more likely to step on your hands than hold them. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like he made me feel really bad and everything, and I was like offering for us to give him rides to the commissary. I was offering for us to give him rides to the DFAC and things like that and help him out anytime he needs help, because I genuinely was like, well, I mean, someone needs to help you if you're having all of these difficulties. Only to find out that the DFAC is right next to the barracks and he could easily walk to it. And he has been genuinely just ignoring the fact that he can get rides from other people to places and things like that, like his roommates and stuff like that, and neighbors in the barracks. He just chooses not to because it was easier to emotionally manipulate me, apparently. And I just did not genuinely see that while it was happening. And I was just like, oh. So he was just taking advantage of the fact that it was easy to convince me that he needed help and that, oh, it's so nice that you're so nice to me and things like that. No one else is nice to me. And then find out, like, there's a lot of good reason why everyone in the group hates him. And, like, it's not like anyone treats him badly. Everyone treats him pretty well and everything, but he's constantly causing problems. He's almost caused injuries to people in the group. He's almost caused injuries to himself. Like, he's had issues this whole time, and he just cannot adapt to being in the military. And it's like, I feel bad saying it, but he doesn't belong in the military, and that he's just going to cause more trouble if they keep him in. And he can genuinely hurt someone else because of the fact that, like, if his gun was loaded the other day during their other night training, someone was someone was going to go home in a body bag. Someone would have caught a bullet. And it's like, you can't have someone being that irresponsible and literally pointing, even in a simulation, even when it's not a loaded gun and they're just no ammo, you can't be pointing your gun down barrel at someone. Because if that was real live fires or live fire training and stuff like that, someone was going to be seriously injured. And it's like, it scares me as it is that they're doing live fire trainings, because literally you have a bunch of people shooting at other people with live rounds, and everyone's just expected not to hit anybody else, and it's just practice. And you're like, so you're practicing shooting people by pretending to shoot them, but shooting next to them with live rounds. It's like, that doesn't seem right. That seems logically like someone's going to get hurt. But if you do your job correctly, then it's not a problem. The only thing is, there's quite a few people that cannot do that. And he's proven to the military and to everyone in his squad that he cannot keep up with those things. But yet they still have not moved, like, tried to at least get him to actually take responsibility and start doing things correctly. No matter how many, like, he gets in trouble every day. Legitimately, every day that they've been deployed, he's gotten in trouble. Yeah, he takes high risk as it is, and this guy cannot do his job correctly and not safely either, and so he's taking even more risks. And most times with stuff like this, you normally are discharged from the military immediately if you start having these issues. But they have no choice to keep him because they're on a deployment. So, like, I have a bad feeling, and, like, I feel really bad for him, but he's probably going to get discharged when he gets back. Because of the fact that he just keeps messing up. He does not learn. He refuses to, like, grow up and be responsible with everything like that, and it's unsafe. It's like, you can't have someone who doesn't know what they're doing and being unsafe continuously and refusing to change their behavior. Because, like, he gets in trouble every day, and then when people ask, like, hey man, do you need help learning this stuff? Like, and he's just like, no, I don't want your help. I don't need help. I'm doing just fine. It's like, no, you're getting in trouble for some legitimate things that could really be at risk for people. And he's just like, no, I'm fine. He's like, it's none of your business, don't worry about it. And then he'll like ask people to do things for him and stuff like that honestly they're not allowed to. He also left his eye pro, his nods and stuff, the night vision goggles, and his gun unattended for an extended period of time, where he just walked off from it all. And it's like, what are you doing? It's like, you're not allowed to do that. Like, he just keeps messing up and just does not care. Every time that he gets in trouble, he just stares at them blankly like nothing's happening and just completely ignoring all of the genuine, like, reasons why they're like, you need to step up. And then whines about how everyone's so mean to him, and it's like, it's not that they're being mean, they're just genuinely worried that someone's gonna get hurt. And I'm already paranoid as it is and worried as it is. And knowing that my husband has to worry about this guy all the time, and they pretty much just deemed my husband as his babysitter because he's the only one that can tolerate him. Which really, it's more of just, we had him over a couple of times. And so they decided, because of that, that they think Bryce will just take care of him now. So now Bryce is his babysitter. They even made him bunk with him. Yeah, no, we can't do that, because that'll get Bryce discharged too. Yeah, but if you shoot anybody, that's automatic discharge. So, like, if he does accidentally shoot someone during one of these live fires coming up, he will be immediately discharged. Unless if someone else up high protects him. And it's just like, I'm just hoping it's not my husband that catches a bullet. Honestly. Like, my husband's about to go to the board. He's about to, like, get further in his career in the military. And unlike the guy that's messing up, Bryce wants to be in for the full amount. He wants to be able to retire from the military comfortably. So we have another 20 years in the military. Whereas this guy was just like, well, I didn't want to go to college, so I joined the military because it's easier. And I was just like, that's not the right mindset. Like, I understand that that's a lot of people's reasons. And, like, everyone has their own reasons, and I respect that. But at the same time, I see it as kind of not a good idea if that's your reason for going into the military. Because a lot of times it's those kinds of people that end up doing badly in the military and causing problems for everyone else. And because my husband's pretty much been deemed his babysitter, that makes my husband also responsible for him. So every time he messes up, it's just like, Bryce can also get in trouble too. Although, my husband actually had to, what's the word? I feel like discipline sounds wrong, but at the same time, it's like, if you mess up, then you get disciplined for it in the military. And so, like, I don't know if everyone knows what getting smoked means. But getting smoked is pretty much like, you've done something bad, so now you have to do, it's kind of like in movies and everything, and they're just like, drop and give me 20, because they got in trouble, or they did something dumb or whatever. It's like, that's your discipline. Like, that's the consequence, is like, you're gonna have to do lunges, or you're gonna have to do push-ups, or something like that. And because he had cussed out a sergeant, or a higher-up of some sort, had gotten into a fight and talking back to a higher-up, as well as leaving his gun, his eye pro, and his nods all sitting out, which are expensive gear that you don't pay for. The military provides it, and you are responsible for those things while they're in your care. He just left it unattended for an extended period of time. Like, literally out in the open, like on a rock. Which, in a military defense situation, that's pretty much giving the enemy your gun and other tools. that belong to the military. And if anything happens to it, you are liable for those things, but you're not supposed to ever reach that point where you're supposed to be liable for those items. So, my husband actually had to make him do lunges while holding his gun above his head. And, because, like, you know how, like, you've seen sometimes where they'll do lunges with a weight, maybe? You hold the gun above your head as well, kind of like as a weight, because they are heavy. And then you have to do lunges with it. And he had him do that a couple of times as disciplinary action. But that's because my husband also doesn't want to be hard on people. He's like, I just tried to do something simple, so it's like I disciplined him, but I didn't really want to be too mean about it. For lack of better words, I think he meant to say reconstructive, like they reconstruct them if they do something wrong. Yeah, it's more of just like it's called disciplinary action is what they call it in the military. So like you do something dumb, you do something bad, you talk back, anything like that, you get a consequence or disciplinary action for it. But the term everyone uses in the military is you're just getting smoked for it. It's like you did something dumb, now you have to do some lunges, do some push-ups. There needs to be some kind of disciplinary action and consequence to your actions. So, but yeah, my husband doesn't really like doing it though. Like he's one of those people that's just like, well, I can understand, but like people who get on to people a lot are not seen good, as good, in the military. Like nobody likes someone who's being mean or anything like that or constantly smoking people for dumb stuff. It's like sometimes a slap on the wrist is nice. And my husband would rather be like, he doesn't want to be the person that everybody likes, but he also doesn't want anybody to dislike him. Like he likes to play on that neutral ground. Like he'll do a little bit of disciplinary action, but he's not going to do enough to where it's being like rough on anyone. It's like he was just going to make him do push-ups, but he said that based off of how many times that this guy has gotten in trouble, he doesn't seem to care about doing push-ups, but he doesn't like lunges. So he was like, I'm just going to make him do some lunges because I know specifically that maybe that'll teach him a lesson this time because he doesn't like them. And I was like, well, I mean, that sounds like the right way to go about it. If he doesn't like doing lunges, then making him do lunges will hopefully teach him that maybe he shouldn't leave his gear just sitting out. Like, it's important stuff that he's not supposed to be he's not supposed to be just letting it sit out. Especially, like, outside. So, it makes sense that he had to be like, hey, you're doing some lunges now. And since you don't like lunges, that's definitely going to be your consequence. So, but oh, you want to go play some For Honor or whatever? I mean, I don't mind. I can always hop into my friend's server. Just let me finish this really quick, okay? Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm finally slowly getting my front area and stuff like that all how I wanted it. So I asked you if you could do that earlier because I don't wanna. I know, but I'm trying to do this and like I'm being lazy about it. But yeah, I can go do that really quick, I guess. I think I put the scaffolding you gave me earlier in this chest over here. Let's see, yeah, I have 6. Hopefully that's enough. Because I don't know if I have the stuff to make another. Where is this standing? Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not a raft anymore. We've got an island now. Oh my gosh. I don't know if this is enough to get rid of these leaves. I'll try. I think it's just one piece of wood up here that was keeping them up here. Yep. Because it immediately started falling as I did that. But yeah, I had just sat here while I was talking and was making more dirt so that I could hopefully get more stuff done on this. But I don't mind hopping off for a bit and going and doing something on the other server. Yeah, I know that you get tired of playing the same game for too long, so it's understandable. I know how you be. I was surprised you were playing this long because we've been on here for an hour and 20. And I don't know how long you were on here before that, so I was genuinely surprised. Since I left earlier? Wow. I'm surprised you played that much Minecraft, because normally you don't play that much Minecraft. But yeah, my husband seems miserable. He's just like, I'm so exhausted, and I'm just like, he's like, I'd rather just stay up that whole time instead of them being like, oh yeah, you can go to bed, and then wake them all up. He's just so sick of it. Although I think it's at this point, like, he's just sick of being there at this point. Because Poland is very different than, and the way that things have been going while he's been in Poland has been very different than how it normally is for him. So he's just, like, confused at why some things are really backwards about certain things, and then just annoyed by most things. Like, my husband and I text every day for the most part, and most times it's just like, man, I just want to go home. And I'm just like, well, you got months still until you come home. It's like, at least he'll be going to Germany for a month for BLC, so he'll be able to get out of Poland for a while. And he's like, I wish that I could go see more of Poland instead of just being stuck here doing training a bunch and being on standby. But I guess, like, ha 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 ha. Nah, it was in the barracks room. They don't work with anybody that's Polish, technically. I thought that was interesting. Like, I thought at least some of the people that he'd work with would be Polish, but there's not many people that are Polish that he's actually been working with, so. But it's one of those things where just because you're in that country doesn't mean you'll actually see people from the country. Like, genuinely, most times he's just seeing other people that are also from America. This zombie has golden armor. Oh, he didn't drop the golden armor. I wanted that, bruh. Well, fine then. I was just like, oh yeah, give me that golden armor. He didn't drop nothing. That's just rude. Come here, Speeder. I want your string. I'm just like wandering around over in this area where my friends told me that I could build on their server. So I'm just over here wandering. Just doing the same old, wandering around, having no idea what I'm doing. So. Yeah. I think I got pretty far, if I remember correctly, on that one. Because, like, you had it on the server for a while, so I got... Yeah. 10 p.m. Taps is playing. I hear this every day. So many times a day. Dun, dun, dun. You know, I actually kind of missed listening to Taps back when I was in Louisiana because they didn't do it there. I was so used to hearing it that, like, either we were just far enough on the base to where we didn't hear it, or they didn't play Taps necessarily. Because, like, I remember they would do, like, 5 o'clock or 5:30, you had to, like, stop. They'd play something, and then, you could only hear it, though, if you were near where, like, the companies and stuff like that and the units were, where everyone worked. But, like, back where our house was, we didn't ever hear it. But you'd have to actually get out of your vehicle or stop your vehicle. So if you're in uniform, technically you're supposed to get out of your vehicle, stop driving and get out of your vehicle wherever you are, and stand at attention, because it's for respect of those who have fallen. And I don't know if it's just because of the fact that I lived with my father for like 8 years, but legitimately it's almost nostalgic hearing it. And also I've always used it kind of as like my own alarm. Like, I know what time it is a lot easier because it plays. But I think that's the one thing I enjoy about being close to the gate over here and closer to where everyone's working. And they play it throughout the whole base. Because it's like, oh, it's like this time in the morning. Oh, it's this time in the afternoon. Oh, it's this time in the evening. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. So I hear it every day and it's like, oh, okay. It's also how Bryce and I know that he needs to go to sleep. Like, if we're up and it's dark out and Tap starts playing, it's like, oh, you need to go to bed because you gotta get up at 5 a.m. So then we'll go to bed. But it's just crazy thinking about it because I use it as like a reminder of what time and stuff it is. And that I genuinely, I do like listening to it, but that's probably just because I like trumpets. Oh yeah, I forgot like Big Ben or something like that. Well, it's funny because like sometimes I don't like trumpets, but depending on how it's played and who's playing it, I enjoy it. Um, but yeah, he said it reminds me of Big Ben. Yeah. Are you from the UK, Kokoro, or do you just know about Big Ben is the question? It's like, huh. I would have thought that that would be something you would have said, Ace. Because when I said that they play taps and everything, Kokoro said that it reminds them of Big Ben. Oh no, they said they do live in the U.S., but I kind of wish we had some like clock towers like that. Honestly, he got disconnected from chat. Why? Um, yeah, I guess Big Ben does that too. I don't know very much about it. I just know that it does make noise on a certain schedule. That's it. That's as far as my knowledge goes with that. Do you know when it goes off and everything like that? Is it an hourly thing? Is it like just certain times? Because I do genuinely wonder, since I don't really know anything much from the UK. It's every hour. Oh, okay. Dude, I kind of wish we had something like that. That'd be so much easier for me to tell what time it is, and I'd probably lose track of time a lot less if we had something that went off hourly. Well, I mean, I can understand, like, if you're trying to sleep, it would be possibly annoying. But at the same time, I'd probably like it still. Like, I've always liked bell towers and things like that. So I don't foresee that actually being something that would bother me. In fact, like, there was a place that I stayed in a hotel, and I don't remember where it was, I know we were on vacation in the US somewhere, and I think we were in like California or whatever, but there was like a small bell tower nearby that alarmed every hour, and I really loved it. Maybe it was in California. That's terrible. I'm so glad you're not on my stream. You would get me banned so quickly. Yeah, after one of your jokes, I'm pretty sure I would get banned. Like, that's just terrible. I cannot believe that came out your mouth. But at the same time, I know your humor, so I can believe you said that. It's terrible. Um, it's so terrible. The things you say are absolutely the worst. Ace, I just don't know. Sometimes with you. Sometimes you make me worry, and that's coming from me. But, yeah, I would probably like it, honestly. I'd like it going off every hour. And it would be helpful to me. Yeah, I can't even repeat what Ace said, Kokoro. In any way, shape, or form. Like, I can't even word it differently somehow. From what he said. So, you guys will just have to leave it to your imagination. It had to do with something about Alabama, and that's all I can say. And I've never been to Alabama, by the way. But it's the same way in Missouri, if you're asking me. And actually, Alabama's not the worst for that. It's actually Washington State. It's actually #1 in our country for what you're talking about. People just don't talk about that. Like, Alabama's got a bad rap, but it's way worse in other like states and stuff. Um, it still had to do with bells, and it had to do with Alabama, and that's all I can say about that. Because, like, if I say any more, I feel like it'd still get me banned somehow. Because of just how terrible that was, Ace. You only say these things from the UK, or at least that's what I wish it was. But at the same time, I mean, our family makes jokes like that about Alabama. Yeah, Kokoro. You sound like you'd be fun to chat with in party chat, though. I'm sure if you have the same kind of sense of humor, Ace and you would have a frickin' field day. And I'd be sitting here like, oh my god. Why do you say the things that you do? It's like, where do you come up with these? It's terrible. It's just, thanks, I hate it. Your brain is terrible, and I thought mine was bad. But mine's bad in a different way, not in the same way as yours is. Yours is just shockingly terrifying. It's like, the things that you say is just like, oh god, why would you say that? Yeah, normally I have no filter as well, but I had to learn how to create a filter again. So now when I stream on Twitch, I just convince myself I'm a nanny again. Because that's the only time I could filter myself, was when I was talking to children. I'm the internet's nanny. That is terrible, and I hate you for that, but at the same time, I kinda like it. It's like, I am everybody's mom friend most times, too. I'm just mom friend with a sailor mouth. No! Oh! I just died. Oh no, I have no idea where I was at, and I'm back at my friend LaVille's house. Ugh, this was tragedies. This was so many tragedies on top of each other. Oh god. It's so funny too, like, my friend that I was talking about adding earlier, like I was saying, like, he's 18 now. And he's an adult, but I was his nanny at one point. It just astounds me that adult makes me feel, but it's just like even like, but like I was like I don't want you to, and he was playing on my laptop, good, because I don't want to be in the party with Ace, and he was like why, and I was like I didn't answer him, but it's like I don't want to party with Ace, and when he said something about plays on PC, I was like oh my god. And I didn't even add any more after that, because, like, if so, I was gonna have to explain the reason why I don't want him in parties, because you're in the party. And I still feel just as protective of him as if he's still a child. And no, just him. Because, like, I took care of him when he was little, okay? And I can't imagine the idea of having him hear the things you say. And I don't want to know, like, if he would join in on your humor. Because, like, I still. It's hard for me to see him as an adult, but I know he's an adult. And so I know I'm gonna still be protective of him for a while. Because it's just. It's just the idea of him. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like I feel like it's the same way as if a parent hears their children cuss or something. I didn't swear in front of my parents until right before I turned 19. Okay? Like I had a sailor mouth but not at home. It's like I had that fear and also just respect for my elders and stuff for a long time to where I did not cuss in front of like adults or anything like that. I only cuss with like me and my friends. And some adults I did cuss with, but it was on a rarity. It's like only people I was really close with had ever heard me cuss. And then once I got older, I was just like, yeah, I don't care. This is hard to not cuss. So I'm hoping that I can find that same little cave I went in because I just died and lost everything. And it's like, bruh, no. Please, no. Why? There was a skeleton and a bunch of zombies, and I even saw a creeper back there, and that's why I started backing up, but then it was too late. I backed up, but it was not fast enough. I was too late. Is this it? Yeah, okay. I found it. Or no. I think this was the other one. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, this is the other one, so I am close. Hopefully my stuff doesn't despawn. But yeah, it's hard for me to, like, I don't even want to cuss in front of him. Like, if he joined the party, I probably wouldn't even be able to cuss in front of him because, like, I tried not to cuss in front of the kids at all. And most times I didn't cuss in front of them at all. Because it's like, I was their nanny. I was their, who they had to look up to and stuff like that, and I didn't want them to deal with that, you know? So, okay, this was it. Hopefully there's no baddies over here. I just want to grab my stuff. But, yeah, I don't even think I could cuss in front of him, really. Because, for me, it's like, I know that I'm not your nanny anymore, but it's hard for me not to be like that with you. Yeah, but it's still hard for me to, like, get past that, because it's like, I'm still used to having, like, to be protective over him and things like that, that just the idea of cussing in front of him makes me almost uncomfortable. Like, I cussed in the Discord the other day, and then I was like, oh no, he's here. I don't want him to hear me cussing like this. I was like, I'm supposed to be a good role model. And then it's just like, it dawned on me, I was like, he is an adult now. I don't think it matters, but at the same time, I just can't bring myself. It'll take some time. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't think you could possibly ever be a nanny because of the way that you act already. Just saying. Like, I don't think you have the ability to be a nanny. Like, I can't even imagine you, like, babysitting anybody's kids. Although I also couldn't see you having kids. Yeah, I kind of guessed as much. Oh my god. I can't believe you said that. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Okay, that's definitely the worst joke you've made today. It's the worst joke you've made today. That was absolutely the worst joke you made today. It's like, I don't even want to ask. I don't want to know. I don't want any more further explanation. No. Just no. God, Ace. You kill me sometimes. It's like, I have to be careful with you because I never know what I'm gonna hear from you. That's terrible. But it's funny though, because, like, other than with kids and stuff like that, I have absolutely no filter. So getting used to Twitch took a little bit. But once I got used to Twitch and started thinking of it as, it's just like when I was a nanny and I have to be, like, professional but also kind. Um, I don't need to be cussing and things like that because that doesn't need to be needed. Then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, nanny mode activated. We have one filter and it's nanny mode. Or mom mode, as one of my friends told me. One of my friends told me that I have a mom mode, and I was like, what's that mean? And they were like, do you not remember that one time in high school I got sick and you literally brought soup for me the next day? And I was like, oh yeah, I did. I went home and I made stew for me and my family, and I remember bringing you some the next day. And they were like, yeah, and it was the best stew I've ever had in my life. And they were like, but we were sick with a bad cold and still had to go to school, and you brought us stew the next day. I was just like, well, everyone needs a little bit of stew to make them feel better. And they're like, there, right there. That's the mom mode. Or, like, I never bought my own lunches, right? I never bought lunch at our school. But one of my friends hadn't gotten to eat because their parents were terrible and just refused to buy them lunches or to give them money for lunches, and they had no money to buy lunches. And their parents just were terrible. Oh my god. Can I finish my story without you making it absolutely terrible? Um, but I was just like, well, you know what? I normally don't buy food and everything like that, but you haven't eaten and everything, and I think you should definitely eat something because it'll make you feel better a little bit at least. Because things have been hard for them or whatever. And so I bought them lunch, and I continued buying them lunch for a couple of weeks until their parents got upset that someone else was buying them lunch, and actually sent them to school with lunch money later on. Huh? Oh yeah, I know. I was just destroying those couple of ones really quick while I was doing stuff. There was no need for it. But yeah, I literally bought my friend lunch and stuff like that for a while. This music made it a good memory moment. I know, I love Minecraft music so much. Like, I literally have a playlist on my YouTube that is just, I have one that's a 10-hour, I have one that is a all songs mix, I have multiple other ones that are Minecraft, and it just has pictures from Minecraft and Minecraft music playing in them. And sometimes when I can't sleep from watching Adventure Time, I will listen to those and just listen to Minecraft music to go to sleep. You're Barbie girl. I didn't know I needed to hear you say that, but I am so happy that I lived to this day where I got to hear you say you're a Barbie girl, Ace. That was so great. And now you've gotten the song stuck in my head. Thank you. Do you know who wrote that song? Aqua. Do you know why I know that? Because I have that album with that song on it. And multiple other Aqua albums with songs like that on it. It's like, and it's not even for that song, it was for something else. Huh? You gotta soothe Bryce somehow. No, they have really good music. Like, Barbie Girl was kind of just a joke song, I feel like, that they made. Um, but, like, they actually genuinely have a lot of really good music that I like. But I also grew up listening to Toy Box, which is another band that is very similar to Aqua and played music like that. So I guess I can't say anything. God, that song's stuck in my head now. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, wrapped in plastic, made so plastic, made some Barbie hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your vacation. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. I'm a Barbie girl. It's stuck in my head now. Thank you, Ace. You're evil. And like, unless if I go get my headphones, I have learned that as long as I only sing a small portion of the song, I'm not breaking the rules. As long as I don't sing the whole song and I'm not playing the song or the melody, then I can do it. No, I've done very drastic um, research for this. Trust me. Because you know how often I break out into song on accident. So I had to do some research, but legally, and the way that Twitch already runs things, it is not copyright if I only sing a couple of song lyrics. Ow, I fell. If I only sing a couple of song lyrics, and as long as I don't have the melody or something like that playing. And I know this because I have yet to get a copyright or a ban or anything like that. And even I had a moderator tell me I wasn't supposed to say something else on stream, which was really dumb because like someone had asked me like what my religion was, and I told them that I don't follow any specific religion and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to continue on my thing because like I got in trouble for it once. I'm not doing it again. And I also said what my preferred gender was, and I got in trouble for those things. Um, but ow, I fell again. Um, I asked them. I was like, if I start like singing a couple of words from a song, will that get me in trouble? And they were like, no, as long as you're not singing the whole song, and as long as the melody is not playing or the actual song is not playing. I was like, so if I have my headphones in and I sing a song of some sort, and it's just a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes here and there where I'm singing a little bit to it, it's okay? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. So, I have permission. I've been given the okay to sing about it. So, I will sing, and you cannot stop me. Although, genuinely, if you told me to stop, I would. But that's because I don't want to bother anybody. Yeah, I never really liked the Gummy Bear song too much. I had a little sister that played it too much. So I actually genuinely have somewhat of a bit of a hatred for that song. If I have to listen to it more than once, I will go insane. Like, I will be off the rails if someone sings it too much. And it will not be pretty. Like, I have almost broken things because of the fact that someone was listening to it too much. Although I think it's also just because my sister liked to use that song to annoy me all the time, so yeah. It's like, you can blame it on my little sister, because she decided that it was her, like, life goal to find all of the things that bother me. But I've been told that that's just siblings for you. And especially when you have siblings that are half your age. Ha. You thought, Spider. You thought. The spider thought he was being creepy, creepy crawly, and that he could get me, but he was wrong. Joke's on you, Speeder. I did really like Crazy Frog, though. Like, Crazy Frog was my jam. Although I used that, and I listened to that one, a lot of Crazy Frog, too much, and it annoyed my parents a lot. Like, we got to the point where my mom at first would actually sing to it a bit with us, and then after a while, it got to the point where we were banned from listening to the song. She's like, that's enough. I don't want to ever hear the song again. If you play this song in my presence, you better be wearing headphones. I didn't have a phone until I was 14. I wasn't allowed to touch my mother's phone. I was afraid because of how bad my parents were. So if I had touched her phone and she didn't want me to touch the phone, I would have had much more disciplinary action. It's like, I think my life, or my childhood, I should say, uh, probably counts as hazing at this point. And as you know, hazing is illegal now. Oh my gosh. I just thought of it. Did I ever tell you the nickname my husband had in basic? Ace. Okay. You got some cheaters on your game? Well, on the game at all is what I was talking about. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's annoying. Man, I'm gonna have to go get my wireless headphones because I got songs stuck in my head now. I also mentioned Toy Box earlier, so now I have another song stuck in my head. And it's like, I'd be surprised if anyone else likes these songs. Because, like, some people would get annoyed by these songs for sure. Like, one of the songs that I'm thinking of is Best Friend by Toy Box. He's my best friend, best of all best friends. You can be my best friend too. Tickles in my tummy. He's so yummy, yummy. Hey, you can get the best friend. I'm just like naming off a bunch of 90s music, I just realized. God, I'm just making myself sound even older just by listing songs that I like. Whatever. I'll embrace it. It's just like I've had friends that were not only like they were only a couple years younger than me and they'd be like, "Oh, you're like a grandma friend." And I'm like, "Oh wow, so I've surpassed mom friend and now I am grandma friend?" And they said it was because I like to knit and crochet and do art. And I was just like, so that and I like to bake cookies for people. And like I bake brownies for people and stuff like that, and like people are just like, "Oh, you're like a little grandma," and I'm just like, "Oh, that's wonderful." It's like, bro, I turned 25 this year. I'm not that old. Leave me alone. It's like, this is mean. And they mean it as a compliment, but it's like, it doesn't feel like a compliment. But at the same time, it's like, I guess I might as well just embrace it. Because it's happened so often from so many different people that I've been just called the grandma friend that at this point I think it's just going to be permanent. Don't you dare start calling me Granny. I will die. I will just be deceased. I will just be deceased. If you called me Granny every time I was playing with you, I would probably kill me inside a little bit more every time. It would not be fun for me. Although I'm sure you would find it very funny. I should never have told you that. Now you're gonna hold it over my head. This evil. Don't call me Granny. The only time that Granny would be a nice thing to say is if you're like calling me Granny Sophie or something like that, like from frickin' Howl's Moving Castle, but even then that still seems weird. And I still don't like it. Don't you... I don't even want to know what you have in mind to make it weirder. Actually, no. Next time he joins the party, you have to say that because that would be hilarious. I want to see what would happen. Um, I really would like to see his reaction to that. If you called him that, it's like it's funnier too because we call my Papa Paul, or Papa, and it's funnier too because I was leading towards what his nickname in Basic was, and that actually kind of has to do with my Papa as well. So his nickname in Basic was given to him by one of the staff sergeants, and it was Gap, because he has a missing tooth in the front, and it's like his other teeth have kind of gotten closer to kind of close the gap a little bit, but there's still a noticeable gap that people notice most times when they meet him. And so his nickname was Gap. And it's funnier though, because he and my Papa Paul are missing the same exact tooth. Like, he and my Papa are literally missing the same exact tooth. To the point where my Nana is convinced that I was 100% meant to marry him, and that we were meant to be together forever and things like that. And it's like, well, I hope so, first off. But at the same time, it's just so funny because she legitimately thinks that it was fate. And my Nana's also very big into the Bible, so she believes God did this to him. I was like, so you're saying that God is the one that's made sure my husband has had a gap his whole life so that my Papa and him have the same exact missing tooth permanently? Because, like, he's even had false teeth, like a false tooth put in between the gap, or in the gap, and he knocks them out constantly, to the point where the military is just like, no, we're not giving you another one, because you just keep knocking it out of your face. And so the military won't even keep replacing the tooth anymore. And I just think it's the funniest thing because, like, my Nana is convinced that it was just like, you and him were meant to be because he's just like Papa Paul and blah 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 blah. And I was like, that's cute, Nana, thank you. But, like, I don't believe that God did this, and if he did, he's got a sick sense of humor. Because, like, Bryce has gotten picked on for it, like, most of his life. Like, he even had braces for a while so that they could, like, push the teeth away and so that they could eventually replace the tooth. And, oh no, that just reminded me of a different story. So, I think I might have told you this story, Ace. But did I tell you ever the story where when I took Bryce in to get his braces taken off, the old Asian man believed I was Bryce's mother? Like, he just assumed I was Bryce's mom. So, like, this guy had never met us before. I was taking him in to get his braces taken off so that he could go into the military. We had just gotten married. And I was pregnant still. And so I was pregnant with Bryce's child. And the man walks in. And he goes, so, Mom, what are we doing for your son's teeth today? And I was like, that is my husband. And he looked at me for a second, and he goes, how old are you? And I was like, I am 20 years old. And he goes, I am so sorry. And he just starts backtracking immediately. And I was just like, no, you've already said it. And Bryce was sitting there laughing so hard that he was practically crying. And the old man literally was just like, oh, well, would you like a flower? And gave me like a carnation. I don't know where he pulled flowers from. But like, it's like, do you keep flowers on you for emergencies like this? Like, what on earth? But like, Bryce was laughing so hard because of the fact that the guy was convinced that I was his mother. To the point where he literally walked into the room and was like, so mom, what are we doing for your son today? And I just had to be like, I am his wife. I am not this man's mother. That would be weird. On so many levels. No, that's Washington. Um, but yeah, that man straight up thought I was Bryce's mom. And I was just astounded with just how easily he was just like, so mom. It's like, was I that convincing as a mom that he was just like, did not register that there was a possibility that I wasn't Bryce's mom. He just was entirely assured. That's what I'm saying. It's like, how old do I look? Do I look like I'm old enough to be his mom? How young does Bryce look? Like, what? But it's funnier because even on every base that we've lived on now, out of the 2 bases we've lived on, everyone thinks I'm a cougar. And that Bryce is super young. And I'm like, we literally are less than a year apart in age. He's only like 10 months younger than me. His birthday is March 30th or 31st, which is the same date as my Nana's, by the way. He has the same missing gap tooth as my Papa Paul and the same birthday as my Nana. So yeah, I do say that that's a crazy coincidence. But he was born in 98. So it's like in March. It's like March 98 is not that far from June 97. Come on now. So that's only like 6, 7, 8, like 8 or 9 months. It's like, it's not that much difference. I'm not that much older than my husband. And like, even Sammy told me that she thought I was extremely more older than my husband. And I was like, how old do you think Bryce is? And she was like, I thought Bryce was like straight out of basic. I was like, no, Bryce has been in the military for 4 years, almost 5. Like, and she goes, there's no way that he's 24. And I was like, yeah, he turned 24 this year. And she goes, how old are you turning? I was like, I turned 25 in June. And she goes, there's no way it's that little of a gap between the 2 of you. And I was like, what? And she said that he looks like he's 18 years old. And that I look like I'm in my 30s. And I was like, that's not fair. I was like, that's not okay. And she was like, and I said 30s because I wanted to be nice. I was like, that's even worse. And I guess most people that Bryce works with thinks I'm much older than him and thinks he's much younger and is so confused on how he's almost an E5. I was like, well, they have to know that you're like 24 and that's why you're becoming an E5. And he goes, yeah, but they still don't believe me when I tell them that I'm 24. And I was like, well, good, because nobody believes me when I tell them I'm only freaking like 9 months older than you. I was like, everyone thinks that you're super young, and everyone thinks I'm old as heck. It's like, why? One of his coworkers even guessed that I was over 42. And I was just like, I'm just overly offended with that one. And Bryce was just like, I was like, Bryce, how old does everyone think that I am? And he goes, I don't know. I hate to say it, but one of the guys thinks you're 42 or older. And I was just like, are you serious? Like, that would make me almost as old as my dad. And he goes, it's okay, my dad's in his 50s. I was like, still? I was like, that doesn't make it better. I was like, I don't want to be perceived as that old. It's like, I've always been told that I look more mature than I am. To the point where I was pulling very adult jobs while I was underage. That I probably wasn't supposed to be working. Like, I became a model. Um, when I was still like 17. And apparently it was an 18 or older job. And that makes sense with the type of modeling we were doing. But, like, it wasn't super, like, it wasn't like nothing super inappropriate, but like we were wearing like corsets and like some skimpier outfits, I guess you could say. So it was definitely off a little bit. But like I worked extremely adult jobs as a high school student. Like I did taxes my senior year. Like I worked at Jackson Hewitt and did people's taxes and everybody thought that I was about their age, not a high schooler. So if we ever got to talking and I mentioned high school, they would get really confused. And then I would get questioned on how old I was, and I was just like, "Oh, I turned 18 this year." And they'd be like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I still have a little bit until I finish my senior year, but you know, it happens." And it's just crazy because like so many people that I was older always. And it's like, "Do I just look old?" It's like, is that the thing? Do I just look old, I guess? I don't know. But then I'd get those creepy guys that thought I was really young. And that always was weird. But, yeah, I got mistaken for being quite old my whole life. And it's just like, why? Why do I seem so old? Why does everyone think I'm so old? It's like, this isn't okay. Stop, please. Get some help. Get me some help. I don't even know. Huh? Maybe it's for consistency. Like, that's probably the only consistency I've ever had in my life is that everyone thinks I'm way older than I am. It's the only consistency I have in life. Which I don't think is a good thing. It's like the fact that everyone always thinks I'm so much older. No, I've only got one viewer left. I guess I was rambling for too long. Everyone got bored. Not my fault. I take no responsibility. But it was truly one of those weird things that you're just like, why? I'm having to eat rotten flesh to survive while I'm trying to get this stuff. And I'm not enjoying that. Because I don't even have a farm started. I just went spelunking. I literally haven't started on anything. I tried to play it a little differently, but that's because I also wanted to start doing my house mostly of diorite. I was feeling doing diorite, so I decided to go spelunking and see if my luck would come out and that I would end up finding that amethyst cave because they said it would be really cool if I found one. So I was like, well, I'll go wander a bit and see if I've come across one. But I haven't found very many interesting caves yet, so. But I did find a lot of diorite in this cave, so that means that I can go up top and start my house a little bit. Because I'm thinking of doing my house diorite, cobblestone, and wood. What do you use slime for again? I don't remember. Okay, I don't care then. I don't need that stuff. Where did I get a glowing sack? I got 8 glowing sacks from somewhere. I don't remember when I got that, but okay. Just sitting here waiting for my furnace to finish my iron because I ended up with a bunch of iron, so I have a full iron outfit. And I have 29 iron ingots already, and then I've got 24 cooking and 6 that I gotta pick up, so now I have 34 iron ingot, or iron, yeah, iron ingot, and then I got a bunch of iron, like raw iron. Fun. You just memeing about then? Rude. Bro, my finger hurts. I was trying to, like, fish out a box from the closet, and I forgot that we have, like, these big plastic pieces to some old frames we had, and it sliced my finger open, and it hurts so bad. And now it's like way worse than a paper cut. Like, there's some loose skin now. Because only I would find a way to get sliced by plastic. Oh my gosh, this iron's taking so long, I'm impatient. I kind of want to go get my headphones so I can listen to music. Wow, I've gotten 18 comments in this video before everyone dropped off. It's not bad. That makes sense. Just one. Me. Bryce is finally getting to go to bed finally. So he's finally off of there and heading to sleep. It's only 10:50. Yeah. I don't. It's hard. It's hard not having my husband around. I miss him so much. It just really sucks because I realize, like, half of some of the stuff that I say in these videos, yeah, they're still allowed, but because I'm ranting about, like, my husband's problems and stuff at work or whatever, I feel like I shouldn't post them onto my YouTube. Yeah. Although most times it's like, it's hard to just talk about stuff while you're playing Minecraft. So, it's like, I don't really feel like there's a lot to talk about when you're just playing Minecraft. It's like, what am I supposed to talk about? And most times it's like I'm talking to Bryce and stuff while I'm doing this stuff, so. Why did so many slimes spawn over here? Jeez. I was gonna go back and get some more diorite, but that's not worth it. I don't want to deal with them. I'll go find diorite somewhere else. Because slimes annoy me. Plus, I don't like the slop slop noises they make. Makes me uncomfy. Yeah, I don't really care to get the slime balls and stuff because I don't need them. It's like I don't really need them, so there's no point in me getting them. Oh no, I'm glad you reminded me though, because I need to go check out more of that, because I kept up with it for most part, but there was a couple episodes I missed recently. Wow, really? I think I've only seen episodes 1 through 3. Okay, so I've seen half of them. I've never noticed that before. Because, like, most of the series I've watched from there is normally ones that are more than 6. Like Mandalorian and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Moonlight is actually one of the very few Marvel series that I've seen at all. Because I didn't really care for much of them. But that's because of the fact, like, I'm sure you can see why I'm interested in the Moonlight series. Because I can relate. Um, but yeah, that's why I've ended up actually watching it. Because Bryce was like, you might actually really like it, so you should give it a try. And I was like, well, you know, I'll try a lot of series and stuff, but it just depends on whether I'll actually like it and everything. What's it about? He started explaining it to me, and I was like, that actually sounds really interesting. With Mark or with whatever his name is. Ah, I don't think I know anything about him yet. I don't think I've seen that character yet. So, yeah, well, I don't care about spoilers. It doesn't really bother me none. I've never really understood why people hate spoilers, because to me it doesn't matter. It's like I'll still be interested in it either way. And most times, like, I'm actually just like, oh, what happens? And they're like, oh, well, I don't want to spoil it for you. And I was like, no, tell me. And, like, I want to know. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, cool. Ah, okay. That sounds interesting. But yeah, that does sound really interesting. Cause like Bryce actually was surprised that I had not seen any of the Moonlight series. Or not necessarily seen the Moonlight series, but he was surprised that I hadn't read that comic because there are quite a few comics that I have read. Um, because I did read a lot of comics back when I was a kid. Whenever I could get my hands on it, and a lot of times I had friends and stuff, and they'd share their comics with me because they knew that my parents wouldn't like buy me comics or anything. So a lot of times it almost felt like it was taboo that I wasn't supposed to have them. And so I got really, really into comic books for a while. And I do remember some of them, but at the same time, I don't remember too many. But Moonlight did sound familiar, and Bryce swears that I actually have a Moonlight series comic on our bookshelf currently. And I was like, really? Because I don't remember reading it, and I feel like I would remember that series. But then again, I think maybe it wasn't me per se. So it's one of those things where maybe I did read it and I just don't remember for reasons. So, but that actually reminds me, I should really look and see if I do actually have some of the Moonlight comic. Because I think it would be really funny if I actually owned some and I didn't know it. But I honestly don't remember what comics I do have. I know that some of them are really good. I don't remember what they're called. Um, I should really show off my comic book collection sometime. Because, like, he and I actually geek out a lot about Marvel films sometimes. If it's one of the series that I did read, or, like, I was really into the Deadpool comics. I was really into the Venom comics. I wasn't very into Spider-Man until the movies came out. But then I read a lot of the Spider-Man comics and things like that, especially if they were with Deadpool and stuff. Um, or like the Venom ones, because some of the Venom ones have to do with Spider-Man as well. So like I read a bunch of different Venom ones. I watched and read a bunch of other stuff on them, and if I couldn't get my hands on being able to read one of the comics, it got to the point where eventually they started having like synopsis and stuff like that on YouTube and people talking about the comic. So it was like I didn't necessarily always get to read them, but I could listen to someone talk about the comic and what it was about. So I got really into comic books for a while. Probably very close to the amount of manga possibly that I've read. And based off of my anime list, I haven't updated it in a while, but I've seen and read, I think it was around 300 or something like that of manga and anime. Granted, most of it was like short anime and like small manga series sometimes here and there. So it'd be like, oh, well, I read a lot of manga and I've read all of these series. I read a lot of, watch a lot of anime and it's these series, but they're like really short term ones. So, but yeah, I thought it was really interesting for a lot of the series that I read. And I could normally just easily get into a series. It didn't take me too much effort to get into a series all that much. So, yeah. And I find that definitely up my alley for sure. Um, oh really? Cuz like I had kind of picked up on that. Because of like him calling his mother and stuff like that. Yeah. I actually don't remember if I watched the afterward scenes of a lot of the episodes. Now that I think about it, I want to say I did, but I can't guarantee. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine based off of what you're saying. Yeah. Like everyone was saying in the series. Yeah. Well, it sounds really cool. It's definitely interesting. It would definitely be it's definitely a series that I can't wait to see more of. I'll probably lay down and binge watch them now that I know there's more episodes and it's the last of the amount for now. Because I had completely forgotten about it, but that's because Bryce and I tried to start it right before he left. But he left after, right before the second episode aired, I believe. And then I just forgot this whole, like, last month that Bryce has been gone that Moonlight's airing. So I guess it makes sense, because I want to say that, like, literally the day after or day before, something like that, before Bryce left, the second episode came out. Actually, you know what? We watched Moonlight on the night that he left. So we might have seen two episodes by that point. So yeah. Which would make sense because it's been four for the whole month that he's been gone. So that's why the six episodes. So yeah, I think that's what it was. I think we were literally watching that episode that night. And then after I dropped him off and stuff, I came home and watched Ghost Stories, the anime, for the like 20th time at least. It's so crazy just how much like media I've consumed now that I think about it. Cuz like I did a lot of stuff, but I also watched a lot of anime, read a lot of manga, read a lot of comics, read a lot of it or watched a lot of videos on comics and stuff. And I've watched multiple of the anime that I've watched over a couple of times at least. Especially since I'm one of those people that's like, "Oh, you've seen this anime? Have you seen this anime? Oh, you haven't? Let's watch it." You know? So, I'm normally that person that's just like, "Oh, you've seen an anime? Let's watch anime together." That's funny. I mean, I guess it's kind of like, well, at least they respect you. It's like I'd take respect over anything every day, any day. I meant to say. Well, I have shears now and plenty of um coal and iron, so. Ah, there's a sheep over here. I need your wool, but I have no room. chicken. I'll eat the chicken. Oh. Oh, there's a lot of baddies over here. I wanted the sheep, but then I got lots of creepers and other baddies. That's no bueno. Oh, look. A wandering trader. Aw, he's got tropical fish, and I always want the tropical fish, bro. Not cool. I'm gonna have to, like, wade around in the water until it's daytime so that I can go start making my house. And I just keep watching more enemies spawn. I forgot the spiders will come after you in the water. Most everything else probably won't, but like... Oh, that zombie decided he wanted to try and come after me too. I'll just sit around here in the water. Haha, creeper, you can't kill me while I'm in the water. I can smack you around, though. Oh, he can still do a little bit of damage. I just gotta wait for daytime. I have a hair that's like right in between my headphones and my face, and it keeps rubbing on my face and like freaking me out. Feels like there's something crawling on me, but it's literally just my hair tickling my face. It's like, can you not? Like every time it happens, I'm just like, oh god. And then I move it, and it's just the hair, the one hair. Oh, there's a witch over there. No. No, thank you. You can go somewhere else, bro. Nice. That sounds about right. I'm like wasting so much energy just sitting here waiting around in the water. Because it's nighttime and there's a lot of bad guys around here. And there's even like a witch and a skeleton across the way from on each side, so they're just like, I have to go towards one, watch them walk away, go towards another, watch them walk away, go towards the other, watch them walk away. That's hilarious. It's like, I'm not looking for bad labor, I'm looking for good labor. So if you're providing labor, you better be doing it good. It didn't sound like the correct way of saying that, but okay. It's like I sound like I made that sentence up wrong. Are these mushrooms? Which way did I go? Did I not go towards their houses like I thought I did? Oh my gosh, where am I? I don't know, but I'm gonna have to eat this pig. I wandered too far, and I have no idea where I'm at now. Oh wow, that pig did not feed me very much. I'm sorry, sheep, but I must eat you. I went a direction, and now I am lost. I need to find where they're at so that I am no longer lost. But I have no idea what direction I need to go in, because I wandered so far away. um, I see a lot of scaffolding. Am I going the right way? Or am I just going the wrong way? And I'm just following the scaffolding into nowhere. Okay, okay, okay. I think I know where I'm at now. I think I'm over near their house again. Oh god, that's almost like a drop. I almost died. Please tell me that I'm back at the village. I think I am, okay. Because I plan on building my house near their village so that they can see my house from the village. I'm guessing this is the village. Yeah, okay. Oof. Alright. I am back where I belong. I need to find some plants or animals. I need them. But my goal is to build a house big enough to where they can see it from theirs without it being too close to them. I'm gonna have to sacrifice some of my potatoes because I'm getting close to starvation. And I really need to start building my house. You're dropping stuff. But I did pick a good area because it's mostly just flatlands. There's already some watery areas, so I think I'm just gonna build my farms around these. What is? Who is? That sounds annoying. Hello. I can't read that because I don't know whatever language that is. I'm guessing that's Russian, it looks like. But I may be wrong. I mean, I can imagine. Oh, tournaments of banned characters? I didn't know that. Although I guess it makes sense. That does kind of make sense though, cause like, I've played Magic the Gathering tournaments and stuff like that, and they always have banned characters that you're not allowed to play. And like magic cards is what I meant to say, but there's like character cards and things like that that you're not allowed to play. Which is funnier too, because one of the banned cards, I believe, is the Dark Lotus card, but it's like worth a bunch of money. And it's just like, why would a banned card be worth so much? I just don't understand it. But I also don't understand a lot of things, so. And, I don't know. Mm. That sounds annoying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which makes sense. Like, that makes perfect sense. Fair enough. It's like, if they're cheating, then... Yeah. It's becoming nighttime again. Looks like I'm waiting around in the water again. Because I don't have any room. I have yet to make a barrel or even a trunk so far. And so I can't really put stuff out of my inventory. I need everything I have in my inventory. I barely got started on what I'm gonna use for my farm, but unfortunately it became night before I could get room to make a hoe. So I think once it becomes daytime again, it's like I'm gonna have to make a bed and all that good stuff. But there's just like these puddles, so I figure I'll just stay in one of the puddles until daytime. Oh god, the puddle idea did not work. I repeat, the puddle idea did not work. There's a bunch of creepers coming after me. My sword just broke. Brood. Yeah. What is that? Oh. It's a drowned. Yeah, sounds like it. Get away. Go blow up somewhere else. I need to become daytime, please. I'm in danger. Oh god, I think I just helped that creeper. God, it did. realized I have not slept since like a couple of days ago in the game. So now I'm getting attacked by gas thingies, or not ghasts, phantoms. Like, I didn't realize it had been that long since I last slept in the game. So. But it obviously has if they're popping out. Now there's a skeleton above me trying to shoot me. Can they shoot me in the water? If I'm underwater? Yes, they can. I have nothing to fight him with. Okay, he's dead. Oh god. There's a zombie now. Oh, there's 2 zombies now. And I have no tools to fight them with anymore. Oh, now there's 3. Wonderful. Can it be daytime now, please? Not to mention I'm in the water, so they won't catch fire as long as they're in the water with me. Yeah, it's really cool with all the new updates and stuff. God, there's another freaking skeleton. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to hide here, and it's still raining and it's becoming day, but because it's raining, it's not gonna do much help for me. I need sunlight. I've got a skeleton and 3 frickin' zombies over here. Oh my gosh. One of the zombies just turned into a drowned. I don't know where the 3rd zombie went. And I still don't know if the skeleton's over here. Yeah. Is he dead? Oh, he's still there. He shot me as soon as I, like, moved. Oh, now I've got 2 drowned as a zombie. 2 drowned, a zombie, and a skeleton. Walked into a bar. I don't know. Try and make bad jokes out of it. This is torture. I managed to kill one of the drowned. But like, this is ridiculous. It needs to stop. Especially since I only have 3 more baked potatoes. Can the rain stop, please, and it become daytime? Yeah, screw this. I'm risking it for the biscuit. Run! Run to safety. Yeah. I'm gonna run so that I can go to bed though, so okay. Like, I just need to go to someone's house, sit in there, make a bed really quick, and then go to bed. I'm just gonna put some dirt in here. I don't know whose this is. I'm not gonna take anything. I'm just making a bed. I'm just gonna hang out over here for a bit. Where it is safe. I'm gonna have to wait this day out just to go to bed, just to have another day, so that I can actually go do something. But I'm about to hit a 3-hour mark, so I'm probably gonna get off of my stream and then start a new one after I pee, because I have to go to the bathroom really bad. But I'm literally just waiting until... There we go.